Turning now to the war in Ukraine, the pro-Russian administration in the southern Kherson region is urging civilians to evacuate. That's because they're expecting a major counteroffensive by Ukrainian forces.
Reports say about 25,000 people have fled since last Tuesday, but that's much less than the 60,000 that local officials were aiming for. It comes as Ukraine's military continues to make gains in the south. NBC News foreign correspondent Matt Bradley joins us now from just outside the capital of Kyiv. Matt, nice to see you. Pro-Russian authorities in Kherson continue to push civilians to leave the area. And this morning we're hearing they're also forming a local militia. Just how tense is the situation there right now?
Yeah, I mean, this local militia talk, I mean, this is the kind of thing that actually the Ukrainians have been doing. They have their own local militias called territorial defense units, and they've been very effective, particularly back in 2014 when this fight really began. But I'm in touch with some people who are in Kherson, and they actually said that it's tense but joyful. And that's because the Russians have mostly evacuated. And they said it really is more like a ghost town. They've said that they don't really want to walk around. And these are people who are speaking to me by text message. The internet is really limited there, and they don't want to show their faces. We would try to do video interviews with them, but they were too frightened. And they said that, you know, the situation there is really pregnant with some sort of event that's about to happen. They feel as though there's about to be an invasion, but they don't know what that's going to look like. They don't know what the remaining Russian forces and pro-Russian elements who are still there, they don't know how they're going to react. So it really is an ominous situation there, particularly because there hasn't actually been an assault on the city of Kherson yet. But the Russians seem to be retreating ahead of that. We've also heard from them that some of these Russian forces have changed into civilian clothing, either to help them escape, pretending to be civilians, or because they want to blend in with civilians in the city and try to keep the Ukrainian forces from shooting at them. Either way, it's a very threatening and very ominous situation there in that southern city.
You know, Matt, we've seen over the last few weeks Russia intensifying attacks on Ukraine's energy facilities. So how are authorities coping with the power outages that are happening there?
Yeah, it's really extraordinary because those energy companies are finding their own engineers on the front lines. And tragically, I spoke with actually the CEO of the state-run energy corporation. He said 5 of his people have died since the beginning of the fighting. And it's a really threatening situation because, of course, they're trying to fix the damage wrought by mostly these Iranian drones that have been specifically targeting electrical installations. And they're then in the firing line because they're targeted once again once they're in the process of trying to fix this electricity. So we heard from President Volodymyr Zelensky. He said that about 30% of the network has gone down. And that's left about 1.5 million people throughout this country with either no power or rolling blackouts. So this is, according to the European Union, a war crime because they're targeting essentially civilian infrastructure. And the hope is, at least that's what people here are assuming, that the Russians are hoping that they will just sort of starve out or sort of freeze out the Ukrainians and force them into surrender.
Oh, it's going to be a really tough winter. You know, also over the weekend, Russia's defense minister held a series of phone calls with his counterparts in the U.S., Britain, France, and Turkey. He said the situation was rapidly escalating and alleged that Ukraine could use a dirty bomb. What's been the response to that?
Yeah, the White House has sort of said that this is not true. President Volodymyr Zelensky and other top officials have said that this is not true, that this is ridiculous. Ukraine gave up its nuclear arsenal back in the 1990s as a concession to Russia. So they really don't have much in the way of any nuclear devices. But a dirty bomb is a very sort of fungible notion. It's not entirely clear what that could be. It could be any manner of nuclear devices, and it doesn't necessarily mean a high-yield sort of explosion. It could be something that kind of just spreads nuclear waste or nuclear material over a certain area. Regardless, this is a really interesting gambit by the Russians. It seems as though they're setting the groundwork for possibly using their own nuclear device so they can blame it on Ukraine.
All right, Matt, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.